All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about a skill that's quickly becoming a superpower in the age of AI, prompt engineering. It's really the secret to changing how you talk to AI, turning those frustrating chats into something genuinely useful. You know what I'm talking about, right? We've all been there. You ask for something you think is simple, and the AI comes back with an answer that is just out in left field, or way too complicated, or sometimes just flat out wrong. It can seriously feel like you're talking to a brick wall.
But here's the thing. What if the problem isn't always the AI? What if the real secret to getting smarter, more helpful answers is actually us? It all comes down to mastering the art of the ask.
And that, right there, is the core of prompt engineering. You can think of it as both an art and a science. It's all about how you craft your instructions to guide an AI. It's the process of designing prompts that lead the model to give you exactly what you need.
And what's so cool about this, and what this quote really hits on, is just how accessible it is. This isn't some super complex skill that's only for coders or data scientists. No, it's a communication skill, and it's for everybody.
So how do we actually start thinking like a prompt engineer? Well, the very first step is to kind of change our whole mindset about what a prompt even is.
And I love this analogy. See, a simple question? That's like a rough sketch on a napkin. It's vague, but a really well-engineered prompt? That's a detailed blueprint. It gives the AI all the context, the specifications, the structure it needs to build a solid, reliable answer for you.
Okay, so what does one of these blueprints actually look like? Well, lucky for us, there's a pretty clear formula. Let's break down the essential pieces that can turn a basic question into an absolute powerhouse of a prompt.
You can think of it like building with Legos. You start with a clear task, tell it what to do, then you add context and give it a persona so it knows who it should be. From there, you can get specific about the format and the tone. And if you really want to be precise, you can even give it an example. Now, you won't always need all 6, but the more of these pieces you stack together, the sharper your result is going to be. Let's make this real. Look at the before prompt. How do I improve my resume? I mean, the AI could give you a million different answers to that, but look at the after. It uses our formula. It has a persona, a hiring manager. It's got context, tech company, analyst role, a clear task, suggest improvements, and a specific format, a bulleted list. The difference in the quality of the answer you'll get is just night and day. All right, so once you get the hang of that basic structure, you can start playing with some more advanced techniques. And these are the ones that really help you tackle those tricky, complex problems that can sometimes trip up an AI. So check out this riddle. It's a classic logic puzzle, right? It takes a couple steps to figure out. Now, if you just throw this question at a large language model as is, you might be a little surprised by what comes back. And there it is. A lot of the time, the AI will say 63, which is wrong. So what's happening? Well, it's just looking at the numbers 20 and 3 and the phrase 3 times my age, and it just kind of smashes them together without actually thinking through the logic. It's a pattern matching machine, and that pattern leads it down the wrong path. But we can fix this, and we can fix it with one simple phrase. All you have to do is add "let's think step by step" to your prompt. This little trick is called chain of thought prompting, and it basically forces the AI to slow down and show its work. And boom, just like that, it gets the right answer, 26. By telling it to think step by step, it actually works through the problem. It figures out the 6-year age difference and applies it correctly. This one little instruction completely transforms it from a faulty calculator into a logical problem solver. It's a total game changer for accuracy. Now, chain of thought is just one tool in the kit. There are others too. Zero shot is for simple, direct commands. Few shot is where you give it a few examples to follow. For really big tasks, you can use prompt chaining and break the problem down into smaller prompts. They're all just different ways to steer the AI toward a better, more reliable answer.
But listen, getting the right answer is only half the story, because with a powerful tool like this comes a lot of responsibility. There's a really critical ethical side to prompt engineering that we absolutely have to talk about.
See, if we're not careful, our prompts can actually lead an AI to reinforce harmful stereotypes, generate total nonsense, or even create dangerous content. Remember, these models learn from a huge amount of text written by humans, so they can pick up our worst habits. It's really on us, as the prompt engineers, to guide them toward being helpful and harmless.
So, how do we actually do that? Well, let's take the principle of accuracy.
Instead of asking a vague, high-stakes question like, what are the best treatments for lung cancer, a responsible prompter puts up guardrails. You'd ask it to explain treatments based on reputable sources like the National Cancer Institute. That one addition makes the answer so much more reliable and safe.
And the same thing goes for sensitivity. A prompt loaded with bias, like, tell me why this backward tradition exists, is just asking for a biased answer. A much better, more responsible way to phrase it is, explain the historical context of this cultural practice in a respectful and neutral tone. The words we choose literally shape whether the AI's output is helpful or hurtful.
Now, prompt engineering is an incredibly powerful and really easy way to get more out of AI, but it's also important to see where it fits into the bigger picture of how we make these systems better.
This table lays it out perfectly. What we've been talking about, prompt engineering, is low complexity and low cost. It's all about changing your input. Then you've got fine-tuning, which is the total opposite. It's super complex and expensive, because you're actually retraining the model itself on new data. And somewhere in the middle is RAG, which hooks the AI up to external databases so it can pull in real-time factual information.
When you get right down to it, prompt engineering is so much more than just a techie trick. It's a fundamental shift in how we work with technology. It changes our role from just being a passive user to being an active director, a collaborator. So the real thing to think about is this. In a world that's going to be more and more powered by AI, the quality of our answers, and maybe even our future, is going to depend on the quality of our questions.